Attack the enemy! Victory is ours!
Hello everybody, and welcome back once more. I was questing to get that first decent battle in the M41A1. As you guys saw, I unlocked it recently. And I finished up the APDS, not APFSDS. I wish it got APFSDS. I unlocked the APDS rounds finally, and was looking for that. I figured it was probably going to take those for me to get a really good battle in it, unfortunately. I wish I had a good battle or two with the APCR rounds, but it just is not happening. I actually skipped the second APCR rounds and went straight for the APDS, and did research modifications around the second one so that I could get the APDS instead. I didn't even bother with the APCR. So I had finished it, and I'd gotten a couple kills with it, but nothing really spectacular. And this battle still wouldn't be the first good battle in the M41A1, but it had a great moment happen later. Now, between the engine modifications not being done yet and the mud terrain here, I couldn't quite crest this hill where I was trying to get to. So gave up on that and pushed over towards the A point, figuring there's going to be enemy contact here. There always is. This is a hotbed every time. So, moving up here, and basically I've been playing my Japanese tanks a lot, especially my Japanese 6.3, as this Stridsvagen 81 reveals himself over here, and I basically managed to miss every vital compartment of his tank there with that shot, but he's occupied with the STA-1 that was next to me, who had just been killed, and thankfully did not see or know I was there or something, and I was able to knock his crew out. He took a hit from somebody else at the same time, but I finished him off, and he put some smoke out. So I'm gonna hang out by this rock for a second, and then as I'm backing around to see if I can spot any other enemies, you can see some bushes moving in a very suspicious manner behind me. So, yeah. Also, Ike, the gaming Mo there, was streaming again, as you'll see in a minute, and this is the second time that he's been streaming and we've run into each other in a battle. So, as this turns out, it's a Carnarvon, as you'll see in a minute, but he's trying to goad me into shooting at him, which I couldn't do before he hit me. He took my breech out, I figured I was toast, pulled around here as far as I could get behind the rocks to repair, and get a 43-second repair, and I thought, that's it, it's over, we're done, we're finished here. I can hope for help, and call for help, but I'm anticipating he's going to come around this corner any second and just finish me off, so turn the gun back around here, wait to hit him till he comes around so I can just light him up with the machine guns and mark him with the team. And anyway, getting back to the gaming Mo there, I've actually never seen his streams, or I don't know if he streams on Twitch or on YouTube or something else, but you guys should go find him and check him out, because this is the second time that I've run into him. And apparently he streams kind of regularly in War Thunder, so you guys should go check him out. And tell him I said hello. And Mo, if you see this, you should definitely comment your link to your streaming, whether it's Twitch or YouTube or something else, in the comments here, and I will approve that, since links get marked as spam. So, actually finished the repair, unbelievably, and went in search for the Carnarvon here. I didn't know he was a Carnarvon at the time, but I didn't know if he had moved off forward to the left, or if he was hiding, waiting for enemies, or my teammates. But anyway, I encountered him here, spotted him, he didn't have his turret facing the right way, and thank goodness, because look how slow that gun raise is. However, I finished him and took his crew out. I don't know if he'd been damaged or what, but continued around the corner here, could see that I had a teammate shooting enemies here and taking damage. He finished him off. Well, an M41 finished him off for him, but I came around here to lend assistance, and then since I was already moving forward this direction, continued forward here to it was faster to just keep going this way and go back up through the middle and head towards the A point than it was to turn around in the M41A1 without it being fully spaded. It's not very quick, unfortunately. Anyhow, the momentary flurry of action being over there, I had time to actually say hello back to Mo there, and trying to push up here and get back to where the team is and go up and help my teammates over towards the A point. I will say, for one thing, most of our guys spawned down where the actual action was, where the caps are, rather than in the Valley of Tears, so that was a nice refreshing change. However, we do have guys in their spawn, which isn't going to help us totally. It'll help us a little bit, but if the enemy comes down from the eastern spawn there in the southeast, they're going to roll right up and shoot our guys on the side. So, I don't know. Whatever. So while they're arguing over who gets to get the kills in the spawn there, I'm moving up to help my random squad mate who is in the Panther A moving towards the A point to capture it.
We have taken the initiative. Attack the A point.
And trying to get the 3 guys that we have at their spawn to go and actually go for the objective, because that is kind of what we're here for. Now, I thought that was a tank turret right there in the corner of my eye with the sun behind it. It wasn't, but it never hurts to be sure and just double check, so. Pressing in towards the A point here, trying to get up there and help my squad mate, and at least, if nothing else, give whatever enemies are going to shoot at him something else to see or shoot at, and maybe one of us will survive long enough to keep the capture on the point. I thought for sure at any moment something was going to come out of their spawn and detonate him or detonate me, and then I looked over to the left and had a mini heart attack, followed by a second heart attack, because that's a pair of T-95s coming down the hill. Now what I should have done here was just bail out, drive around back to the left, get around behind them, and shoot them in the back of the sides with my APDS. What I did instead was mark them and test and see whether my APDS could hit them in that flat part of the armor, which was angled properly towards me. I missed with both of my shots. I don't know that they would have gone through anyway, but then they spotted me and 1-2 punched me out, so it didn't really matter anyhow. However, 2 T-95s, and I know exactly where they are, and I've got a KI-49 that has an 800-kilogram bomb in it. Now, I have the G8N1, and I have the G5, and the reason that I don't use them in my tank battles right now, even though they're appropriate, at least the G5 is an appropriate battle rating, and has more 800-kilogram bombs, is because they're spaded, and I don't have my KI-49s all spaded, so I'm just using my KI-49s while I'm grinding my tank research just to get more research on them. So, that's why. In case anybody's going to ask, why don't you have better planes than this with more bombs, that's why. I have them. I'm just not using them yet. Eventually I'll use them. Also, neither the G5 nor the G8, maybe the G8. The G8 probably, but neither one of them are kind of the maneuverability that I needed to pull off getting in on this strike from the direction I was flying in. They probably would have taken a lot longer to get in there and potentially would have broken the wings or G'd out the pilots to get where I needed to get to. At any rate, T-95s can't move that fast, and they were still right where I left them. Now you can see off to the left there was another tank just up above. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Let's check this out in an instant replay, shall we? Wait for it. Tink. Yeah. And we'll just get one more angle. This one's not in slow-mo, so. And then my KI-49 flies off into the sun. How perfect. Anyway, there was another enemy. There was one that got destroyed off to the left, and there was another one besides that. So, while I roll my KI-49 back over towards the base, I'm going to mark him on the map for the team real quick, just to let him know that he's there. I think he'd already been actually destroyed by the time I marked him for the team, but just the same. So, I'm heading back for the airfield. I will save you guys the time of me flying back, landing, rearming, taking off again, and we'll just pick up coming back into the battle here. Now, by this point, there's nobody left but me. There was a Panther 2 while I was on the runway. He got killed, so it's just me left in the battle now on my team. And I'm coming back in just looking for any target now. Any target at all. Scanning. Scanning. And... I couldn't even be mad. It was one of the T-95s that I killed, was the guy who got back into the M56 there. I couldn't even be mad at him. He got me with an M56. It's pretty hilarious. The best part is he would have gotten that shot and he didn't know he hit me until it said I was killed because of the recoil and that thing. He couldn't see it happen. It's a good shot though. So, back in the Ki-61 with its tiny, tiny little bombs. I didn't realize there were no teammates left until I looked right here, but still gonna head in to see if I can hit something with my bombs, which is gonna do basically nothing, but I figured drop the bombs on somebody, get a little tiny bit of score, and then see if I can dogfight one of the at least 3 enemy aircraft that were up at this point. So I know there's an F-8F or a P-47 around me to the left. I thought it was an F-8F, and I'm pulling around to get a dogfight in them, and it turns out it was actually an attacker. So, caught up to me a lot faster than I thought it was going to. So, that was that for my poor Ki-61. And decided with 3 enemy aircraft up, I'll come back in my Soki, basically just kind of give up on this battle and just see if I can shoot down a couple airplanes from the spawn here. Also, it gave me the chance to fire artillery at the enemy who was retaking the A point. And rather conveniently, the F-8F came flying right in front of me here. Although he's just circling around looking for me on the ground, I think. But I did actually get hits with my artillery, and even damaged his track a little bit. Now, I've just told them exactly where I am and what I'm doing, but I actually got a hit on that F-8F. Of course, it didn't kill him, which would have been nice, or cause any serious critical damage. But, whatever. The attacker comes back and misses with his first rocket salvo, and while they're both heading away from me, I'm going to tip some shots at the attacker so he can look back and see where I am, and then I'm going to try to drive forward so that I'm protected from the return strike of that F-8F from these rocks here on my left, and hopefully I'm away from the attacker where he's not going to be looking for me, except I was wrong, and he saw me and was looking right at me, so yeah. This is kind of how 6.3 Axis battle rating goes right now. Unfortunately, rather sadly, this is pretty much how the battles go. But I still have my M4 A376, so brought that back too. Fired more artillery at the A point, even though I figured they weren't there anymore. And figured any second now, gonna take more rockets in the spawn, and then I'll be done with the battle, and that'll be that. But I wish the rest of the battle had gone better, because I really wanted to make a video out of the Ki-49 strike on the 2 T-95s, and I decided the rest of the battle went well enough. At least I was the last one left, even though we did kind of terribly, but good enough. Plus, there was no way I could not show the double T-95 bomb kill, especially when I went back and looked in the replay and saw that the bomb actually hit the back of the T-95. Now, yes, I was a little miffed here that he was strafing me. With me, they know I'm the only one left in the game, and there's like 3 or 4 enemy tanks left, but I would be doing the same thing. If I was in an airplane and there was one guy left in the enemy team, I would darn sure be strafing him to mark him for the team. I was a little annoyed by it here, but it's totally fair. I would be doing the exact same thing. Come up over the hill, and there's a Super Pershing. Of course, I couldn't actually get through his armor there like everything else can, but he hit me and only damaged my rotation somehow. He didn't take out my breach. Now, I figured any second he's going to hit me again, but he actually stopped driving for a moment, which let me reload, and then I took out his breach, and I couldn't believe it. And just as I'm about to light him up, I get a second shot in him that also doesn't pen the frontal armor on him, and that's when all of his reinforcements arrive. So now you can't really tell, but I'm actually fighting 3 tanks. So there's a Carnarvon or a Stridswagen behind me there, and then an M56 that you also couldn't see, and that was that. I didn't bother respawning in the backup Soki, and the battle ends shortly after because I didn't respawn, so all our tickets split off. But, whatever. This is kind of how 6.3 battles go for the Axis right now. But it was fun. Overall, it was a fun battle. Still frustrating because I've been taking a lot of defeats with 6.3 Japanese. But, whatever. It was all worth it for the airstrike. Anyway, did get 4 kills there. It was almost enough to be the first good battle in the M41A1. I just needed more with the M41A1. Anyway, there's all the score. Good job for Walnuts there. 7 kills, most of which were me. There's all the awards. There's the battle log, including the double turtle soup puree there at 8:05. And that'll do it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Yeah, it was fun. I mean, how often do you get to see 2 T95s right next to each other and then drop a bomb on them? Anyway, thanks for stopping by and checking this one out. Take care, everybody. Have a great day.